Welcome to Voices of the Underground, hosted by Young Ty and Robert Geaux.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another brand new episode of Voices of the Underground EDM podcast. As always, I am your host, Young Ty, and with me, as always, is Robert Geaux. How's it going, buddy?
Cheers, man. It's going good. I'm going to be drinking on this episode today, so it's going to be explosive. We have a guest here that is not afraid to say anything, and I'm excited to chat with him.
Yeah, and you've known him for quite some time, haven't you?
Yeah, dude, he's one of the realest people that I've met, and that's why I'm excited to have him on the show. It's something I've been wanting to do for quite some time. So now, like, our schedules line up with his. ADE's over with, so now we got some time to really get into it and chat with him. But it's funny because we're going to go into it, Ty, but he's probably had his hands on like the entire underground scene at some point or another. So he's going to have a really good voice for us to talk to.
And you have seen him on Rave Culture, Maxximize, Revealed Recordings, and many others. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podcast, KEVU. How's it going, buddy?
Hey guys, all good. Thank you so much for the invite. It's my honor to be here with you guys. I want to start by saying that I completely value the work that you do. I think it's very interesting for the community. I've been a bit away more than I used to be because I have more shows, more stuff to do, but I always like to keep my head with the new stuff, and if you guys are doing this, it's really important. I wish back on the day when I started, I had the same kind of information and people dedicated. So congrats to you guys, and again, thank you so much for the invite.
Yeah, man. No, we're excited to have you coming on. I met you end of 2019. You started a WhatsApp group, and and that, which I feel it's still around, right? Like we don't get into as much as we used to, but this is when we started this podcast. You were one of the first guys. I'm like, look, this guy KEVU, he's going to be really good to come on the show. Like I said earlier, when we first launched it. So I appreciate you coming on. Before we get going and all the music stuff, because we're gonna have plenty of time to talk about music. How's Portugal soccer looking? World Cup. We got World Cup here 2 weeks away. How the Portuguese looking this year?
I think it's looking pretty good. We have a lot of players playing for the top leagues and top clubs in the world. We got some one or two guys that are injured, other guys that are not playing so much on their team. For example, we had the Ronaldo experience lately with Manchester United. Now he's back on play, but I don't think he's as fit as he was before. So that might be not so good. But I think we have a lot of good players, man. A lot of good players. Also, my team, Benfica, they are, I think, together with PSG, they are the only unbeaten teams on Europe this season. They just won another game. So we have a very good player that unfortunately won't go to the national team, which is called Rafa Silva. He said that he doesn't want to go anymore to the national team. And he's right now the best Portuguese player playing with the best form. So that's bad. So now people are trying to convince him to go back, but I don't think he wants, because he would go and then they wouldn't put him to play. Then 6 months it was not going. Then they call him again for 1 minute and they just gave up on it. But I think that's a decision I would probably make too. But yeah, it's looking good. I think there's a lot of good teams, but it's looking good.
Yeah, it's funny because when I talk about that WhatsApp group, you would hang out, but it was always after Benfica played. Like, it doesn't matter. It could be Christmas morning. It doesn't matter. The world stops. You're probably the hardest working guy I know, but you're like, whoa, when Benfica plays, I'm turning off my phone. And I've seen some of the clips that Vendark has recorded of you on Instagram. Pretty passionate clips.
Those are funny, man.
I get mad. And there's a lot that you don't see, that I just don't let them upload. There's a lot that if it's uploaded, it would be not good, because I live the game like with a lot of passion. Like for me, soccer is my number one thing in life. Even before music, I prefer to play soccer or to watch soccer. It's like Thai, like together with family and friends, of course. But for me, soccer is something that I've been doing since I could remember. I still play on a team. We have 3 trainings every week and the game on the weekend. Unfortunately, I cannot always play because I'm touring, or you know how it is. But
Wait, did you play like growing up, like competitive like football growing up? Like, did you get to like those high levels?
I've been playing competitive since I was 5 years old, and I'm still playing competitive. The only difference is that there was a time that I had to choose between music and soccer, and things just kind of pushed me towards music, and I had to stop playing so on a highly level. So now I still play on a good level where we have trainings. It's important to be there. It's important to play. There's a league, but it's not as important as it was before when I was 18. I've been in, for example, I don't know, many people don't know this, but I played professionally in the Canada, in Montreal Impact, on that soccer team.
I remember that story. You had told us that, and like WhatsApp, and like that's when you had a decision, right? How old were
Yeah,
you at that time?
I was 18. So my first season as a senior. So after you go from the youth like leagues, my first season I did very well, and I got an invitation to play with Montreal Impact. So I had to do some tryouts. I have a lot of family in Canada, so it was easier. I was there
I
for
didn't know
like,
that.
yeah, I have a lot of family there. Like my uncles, like back in the day, they immigrated to Canada, then they made family there. So a lot of cousins. So this was, I think, I don't know why, but like 2009, something like that. So it's many years ago. I was in Canada. I started on the B team. I made 2 trainings, and then they moved me for the A team. I don't want to lie, but it's like 4 or 5 trainings. Things were going so well. And then I was 18. I was missing my mother. I was missing my girlfriend at the time. And I just told them that I had to go to Portugal for some personal stuff, and I would just never come back.
You know how happy you're making Rob right now talking about sports and all that?
Oh yeah, no, this is great because we never talk about fucking sports, and you and I, like, I mean, my favorite sport's a little different than yours, but it's having known
What's
you, I
what's your
have
favorite sport?
followed. Oh, it's baseball, bro. Oh yeah,
Baseball.
baseball all
Okay.
day. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We're gonna get into that baseball clip I made of Afterlife. I don't want to talk about it now because I think I sent it to you a while ago. But it's great talking. It's great talking sports because I don't think we get. Let me rephrase. We can get an idea of who you are outside of music. Everybody sees the
Yeah.
music stuff, but yeah, even I didn't know you played pro in Canada. I knew you were out there, but I didn't know that you were playing
Yeah.
pro.
I did.
How did that? Then when did this decision come where you had to like choose between professional football and music?
This is actually a very interesting topic because I never get to talk about this, so I'm happy. And a lot of people ask me about football, like on DMs, and I don't. It's something that I don't like to talk that much. I'm going to tell you why, because it's still like a rock on my shoe. Um, I could, if you can pro, maybe not play like a super high level like Champions League or whatever, but I could live from soccer. I could spend my life in even though I'm so happy in music and things are going so well and better than ever, I still have that shoe, that rock on my shoe that always keeps me a bit sad. But yeah, I mean, the what happened is at the time I went to Canada, and unfortunately, my mindset was not the same as it is today. We are young, you have different mindset, different experience. And I wanted to go back, so I went back to Portugal. I go back to my Portuguese team, was playing on a medium level. But the problem was I grew up playing with my friends, and we were all on the junior leagues. So, like from little kid until you are 18. And when we get to 18, I was the only one from my friends that was picked to play at the senior level on a high level. So every week I had to rest because I had a game on Sunday, and they would go out and party, and I would stay home. So one week after the other, you're 18, you're 19, you don't think as straight as I do nowadays. So at that time, maybe I was not so dedicated as I should. Maybe I should not have gone out before games until late nights. So that's what happened. At that time, the football career started to go a little bit on the second mindset, not my first thing to do. I wanted to get with girls and have fun and have some drinks. So I think that was it. And at the time, the team that where I was, they changed the president and they stopped paying people. So all the team went out, and my coach told me, "Oh, I'm going to a better team. So hold on for a few months. Go play indoor football with your friends, I will pick you up. And then 3 months become 6 become 1 year, 1 year becomes 2. I was waiting and waiting and waiting. And I stopped playing like 11 soccer. I went to indoor soccer. And then I just stood there for some years, and then music took off, and there was no match because I was not making money from football. I had to pick a career. That was it. But yeah, I think it was a wise decision because things are working out.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I'd say it's working out. You have like 1 billion streams to your name. I'd say so far so
It's
good.
good.
But
It's
I
good.
know what you mean though. There's always that like thought in the back of your mind. I think anyone's ever played sports has that, like, if I'd have done this a little different, or if I'd have done that, then maybe. But I mean, everything happens for a reason, and it's good, because if you made the national soccer team, we wouldn't get a chance to talk to you today.
That's true. Or maybe I would never make national soccer league. I think that's too big. But I know that I'm good. I know that with the people that I play every day, I'm some levels above them, even though I don't train as much as them on the field because I have touring. And let's say if I have to go and play 2 shows on Thailand, there's like for 2 shows I have like 5-6 days of traveling between the shows. So that's a week lost. But to tell you like completely honest, I live it. I live football like I'm the most professional guy in the world. Like I intensely live it. I don't miss training, never. It can be my girlfriend's birthday party. I won't go. I won't go to I will go to train 100%. She
Well,
knows it.
we have a joke. Like, we have a joke, and it's like, well, in our friend group, because they also know you as well, and it's like, yeah, I can't make it. I'm running, and that came from you. Because you're like, hey, bro, I can't make the live stream. I'm running right now in the gym, and then it was like 1 a.m. I'm like, this guy's not running the gym. He's just not. Just tell me you don't want to show up. It was like a live stream we were doing, and I look on your Instagram, and sure enough,
He's running.
you're literally working out. Yeah.
Oh yeah. After the call, after this, I will work out for sure because I didn't do it today yet. It's very important for me, like mental wise, to be fit. For example, I'm going to tell you something that not I think that nobody knows. So some months ago, this is good because it was something that would be really nice to put out, and then unfortunately, I will tell you why it didn't work out. So no one knows outside my close family and friends. So basically, some months ago, the gym that I go to, they told me to make a documentary from a life, like a body change. So I would go from skinny to muscle in like 6 months. And I start working out really hard, like every day, with like twice a day, like eating super well. And I start getting bigger, like my muscles were getting bigger. And after like 2 months, the difference was insane. Like everybody, even on the dresser room, I would take my shirt off to go to the showers, and my colleagues would say, "What the fuck, bro? You're getting big. What the fuck?" But then I felt that was not making me better at football. So I was losing speed. I was losing like agility, and I stopped doing it. So basically, now I just train because I want to be fit. I don't want to get too much muscle. I don't want to get super big. Maybe one day when I'm like retired from football, like I stop playing it, maybe I will go through that phase. But that was something I could even send you guys some pictures. I was really getting in shape.
Oh, dude. No, I like, me, shirtless pictures. I'm sign me up for that. Me, Ty, I'm in for. That's the best A block we could possibly have. I know, because we wanted to talk about the backstory a little bit, and I know, Ty, you got some questions like how he got started, that whole transition from being, like everyone goes from an amateur or how they find music into actually doing it as a profession.
Well, let's get into it then. We, like Rob said, we always ask our guests too, like kind of how they got into music. You said you're into football a lot. So how did you find that EDM music and Big Room was kind of what you wanted to do as well?
It's funny because sometimes I try to remember so hard, like when did I start listening to it so much, and I just don't know for sure. I do remember that I was that guy that I went out every night. Every time that I went out, I didn't care about the DJ. I didn't care about the music. I was caring about the girls and the drinks. So I wanted to drink, have fun, get a girl, and that was it. I don't care about the DJ and music, whatever. I remember seeing Hardwell on 2013 on Ultra. And that set, I don't know, it was the hype of Ultra, what happened, that it got to me on Facebook or something. and I went to see it, and I was like, what the fuck is this music? This is something different from I've heard on all my life. So that's when I started to follow Hardwell. This was the first guy that I started to follow as a DJ. That's where my passion comes from. And then I think it was Blasterjaxx, W&W, maybe Bass Checkers, the guys that were doing big room at that time on a high level. Of course, Martin Garrix also at the time, it was getting big. So from then, I said, I want to be a DJ. I don't know why. I had no musical background. I have no musical friends, no DJ friends, nothing. So I was working. I would sell internet services door to door, and I was making actually a good living from it. But I bought my first like mixer, like super amateur mixer, and I started trying to learn by myself, and I just understood that I needed to make music in order to go for the next step, or else I'm just going to be a DJ. So I had like maybe, I don't know, some money saved from my work, so I just quit. I started trying to produce, get the first shows, and the first shows, of course, always comes like a friend that organizes a party. You know how it is. So they get to a spot, and then you make some contacts in there. You meet some people. You get more shows. That's how it started for me. I just started to make music from 2013 until I know I've been 1 year doing shit, like just so bad music. I had no idea what I was doing. But then you start meeting people, you start getting on places where people like forums when they discuss music. You learn, you get some samples from this guy, some samples from that guy. Back in the day, I don't think we have like the free FLPs, like maybe some remakes on like YouTube, but not as today.
Is that okay? Let me ask you this, because free FLPs, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. We've talked about it, but yeah, those FLPs have helped a lot of people. Obviously, some people use it for the wrong purposes. They'll bounce it out, and we know that was like the rage, especially when like 7, 8, 9 started coming out. People were doing all that stuff, but the FLPs, is that why you're willing to share your FLPs? And for people who don't know, in your WhatsApp group, you've shared FLPs. I don't use FL Studio, and I have seen your FLPs, and they've helped me quite a bit. Is that why? Is it because you didn't have those things, so it's like your way of giving back?
I think one of the reasons, yes. I think free FLPs are like, they're good and bad, of course, as you said. It can be used to make your music better, to learn, or can it be used to change some MIDIs and then release a track? Oh, you know how it is? I had so many, me and Sabers probably, we have so many copies out there but that's our fault too, because if you go to X mode, they will not give you FLPs. And maybe they are right. Maybe they are right. They're doing their thing and it makes sense. Many producers will never give you a free FLP, or they're going to do like a specific FLP to give away that has 0 of their sounds. So what KEVU and Sabers did, maybe it looks bad for some people, but you also have to remember one thing. We all started somewhere. And when I started, I had nothing to hold on to. So it's so much, like, I feel so good when I get a message saying, yo, bro, from your FLP, I made this track. And I listen, and there's some samples, of course, there. But the idea is it changes a lot of shit. So I'm happy that guy was able to finish a track because I helped him. I would love to have that back in the day when I started. So yeah, that's the main reason that I do it. It's not to, going to be totally straight, it's not to look good. It's not to make, it's the people's man. Because if I give a concert, the people that have my free FLPs, they will not buy tickets for it. I have to sell tickets to the normal Joe that goes out and doesn't make music. Maybe 1% of the people there are my fans that make music also, but 99% are just fans. So it's not to look good or to be big or whatever, because you will never feel full like a arena with small-time producers that follow your music. It's mainly to help people. And I think that's one of the things we can leave like on Earth when we go away, is like a legacy of this guy was helped by me. This guy also was inspired by me. And that's what I try to do. But maybe I went a little bit too far. I can say that.
Oh man, I'd say those KEVU, those are infamous, man, because yeah, And a quick story about myself that definitely helped me. I don't use FL Studio. We've joked about that on the show because I'm an Ableton guy, right? But like, I didn't know how to do super saws until I saw yours. I still don't know how to use FL Studio. I don't know how to export it or anything like that. But I remember seeing like these super saws. It was from the Night King. That's what it was.
Night King, yeah, with Sander, yes.
Or no, Championship Sound. No, Champion Sounds. That's
Champion
what it
Sound.
was. Dude,
With Sander too.
if you guys, that song is I'm going to go listen to it after this. That song is fucking gas. Those super saws, I swear to God, this is the story about that. Future Heroes of Bigroom, Volume 1, that comes out, right? And that song, Champions, is on that Future Heroes of Bigroom. So I hear these super saws, and I go to my wife at the time, and I was like, look, at my funeral, this is the song I want you guys to play at my funeral. Those are so inspiring. I swear to God. And then about a month later, no, this is a little bit time later after the song's released, in your group, you were like, hey, if you guys, I'm gonna give away an FLP, which one do you guys want? And you gave that one away. And that changed everything for me because I saw how to do super saws and I put them in a track and I got it signed, my first track signed with Intensity. And it was because that FLP, even though I'm not an FL user, that was like the absolute like changing point. Like that changed my whole trajectory, seeing how you worked in FL.
That's the goal, and I'm happy. I think at the time you sent me the track, but that's the main goal.
Yeah,
like,
I sent it to you.
Even though it's giving my sounds away, I also am trying to get new sounds every time. So the ones that I'm giving away probably are sounds that I will not use again. But I did, like I said, at the time, maybe during COVID, I gave too much away just because.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, just because it gets too easy for people to copy it, But at the end of the day, I think if you're gonna copy and make a track, even if you can get it released, people will comment and say, "Yo, this sounds like KEVU, bro." So you will never get too long, So the people that
We've seen that.
That happened. That happened before.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
and then
times.
no, it's funny you say that because I just thought about this. Those guys that were copying in 2020, I don't hear about those guys anymore.
Exactly.
Right? Like I remember they would sign to like a track to like Harmer Records, like just really small labels. And I'm starting to think about it. I'm like, dude, that guy's not around. That guy's not around. Like I remember this. Now you're right. Like it's just not sustainable to do all that.
But the guys that use it well, I'm sure they are still out there.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So end of the day, I think like the industry filters itself out.
I just love that Rob doesn't want to talk about the FL Studio Ableton thing like we do on the show all the time. Because I'm so glad you're on right now because he always rips me a new one for using FL Studio.
We would try to get KEVU to change. See, this is the fucking beauty of it. We would try to get KEVU to change in the WhatsApp group. And we'd be like, hey, man, you got to move to Ableton if you're going to collab with W&W. You got to move to Ableton. And you're like, no, man, I'm FL Studio for life. And I don't care. I'm going to do it. I'm not learning Ableton. And ironically enough, you have a collab with W&W and you did not have to switch to Ableton like they are on. So you get to kind of put that out there.
The biggest reason that I will never change is the shortcuts. Because I know all the shortcuts on FL Studio, like the quick keys. So if I have to learn them again in Ableton, that would be a nightmare. It's years of work.
Oh, I agree
also,
with you.
Ableton is so organized. It's so organized. I cannot work with other organizations.
You like it? Okay.
It's impossible.
I remember looking at your FLPs and I'm like, there's like, because like at Ableton, everything's on like you said, it's organized. It's on its own line, on its own track and everything. And then in FL, you can put like a MIDI clip and you can put like a fucking downlifter, like an uplifter and a riser on the same like line. And I'm like, I remember looking at your FLP, I was like, what the fuck is this? That's why I could never like copy your FLPs because I never knew how to read your FLPs.
The only problem that I found with it is, let's say I need to export stems, for example. It's such a mess that's so many automation clips here and there that you don't know which clip goes to which channel or which pattern, and then you're fucked. You're wasting a lot of time and on Ableton that doesn't happen. But I don't know, man. First it's easier to crack, or was easier to crack at the time that I started. The plugins were also easier to install and crack, and everyone was using FL. Like everyone that has no money was using FL. That's why I started, and then a lot of people still work like Blasterjaxx, bass checkers.
Oh,
I
tell him all the time, Rosario.
Axmo.
I tell him all the time.
Yeah,
I know Axmo uses.
He doesn't want to listen to me.
I don't want to listen. It's so complicated. Okay, well, let me ask you this then. Okay, so you get FL Studio, you download this, you're playing shows. How did you get was Cell Recordings. And before we go back, and just to kind of remind people, like Cell Recordings, you were part of like a really good young and up and coming like producers on that label. Like they had a stable of guys on that label, man.
I mean, there's so many stories about Cell that I can tell you. So many controversial things that even I don't remember anymore. But I will try and tell you. The first time that I did it, I will tell you how it started. So at the time, I made a remix. It was not me. I don't like to take credit for what I don't do. So at the time, I was working as a duo with Geaux.
Right.
Under a different name,
That's
right?
right.
So he came up with that remix idea for Final Countdown. I don't know if you remember or not. I think it was called Final Countdown 2016. I think that was it that time. And that track was, I think, out on YouTube or something like that. And then Lorenzo, which was the label owner, he came to me and they offered me some money to put the track on Cell, to sign it as the first Cell track ever. I don't remember how much. I think it was 1,200 euros, I think, at the time.
That's pretty good money, especially back then.
Yeah, back then. For us, it was amazing. I was like, I go to my parents, I just make not 1,200 because we have to split, but I make 600 euros from music. It's what you get for 1 month work. So at the time, I was like, oh, I can make money from music? That's crazy. So yeah, he gave me that, and that track went really well. Like, I don't know, I think when they took it off after some years. I think he had like 4 million on Spotify, but they took it out when they split, because there were two guys, which was Lorenzo and Andrea. I can go further in Lorenzo's story. I know you want me to, so I will go.
Hey, yeah, I mean, that's what we get signed up for, man.
Yeah, I will go. But when they split, basically Andrea went to lawyers and they told him, like, because it's a cover, it's not official, we upload it without consent, it could create some problems, so let's remove it. And they removed it, which is it was very sad, because at the time it was my biggest track. 4 million streams is not that easy to do on Spotify on like almost a solo release, because the label was so small. So at the time we put that track, and then I know that Lorenzo was buying tracks from everyone, like from Loax, from Ollie James. I don't remember more name, or maybe ING. I don't know if they put music there or not. Maybe Sabres too. He had money, so basically he has money. His father has money. So
this is Golden, right? That's his stage name.
Yeah,
Golden?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. But what he did at the time, I think, was smart. He had money. Let me invest it to create a label, get these upcoming guys, call attention to the label. Other people will want to be on the label because these guys are here too. Let's give them good streams, because at the time what they did was they invested a lot of money on Spotify playlists. So they became curators. A bit like Actuation label.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, they're big.
They have very good streams because they own playlists also. Then they can trade with these guys, so their tracks always get a lot of exposure on Spotify. That's like interesting for artists. That's appealing. That's the word. So what Lorenzo was doing at the time, he's a smart guy. Lorenzo, he was a smart guy. Not right now, but he was a very smart guy. And Andrea was also very hardworking. I don't know if you know Andrea, but he was also a smart and hardworking person. So at the time, I was working a lot with them. But the problem was, and I think this is public, so I can say it.
It is, there's been articles written, so I think what you're about to say is probably already out there.
Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about other people's lives, but this is public, so I can tell it. Basically, Lorenzo was getting too much fucked up with drugs. So he fucked his label, he fucked everything, because they had that system like where you buy something, and then they give you feedback, and they give you this, they give you that. You remember that?
I remember that.
But it was the same feedback for everyone. It was not from the artist. He told me, can you give feedback to the label? I will pay you 50%, something like that. I said yes. I never got any money. I never got any tracks to review. You would just review them by my name. So he's making, but that was a smart move at the time. The problem was, it's like, if I'm selling you something, but then I don't deliver, of course it's not going to be a sustainable business. It's going to collapse. you know. That's what happened. It was smart to create something, but then it was dumb not to do it on the right way. And then so much. I know that it's public also. He fucked up with Dharma. Basically,
Yeah.
he paid the Dharma guy a lot of money to put a track there. Then, dude, it was so that there's things that I don't know if you know, and I'm even afraid to tell you, but I will tell you anyways. But I think this is public also. At the time, Spinning made a contest, right? You know that story?
Yeah. I think it was a collab with Cashmere, right?
Yeah, you win the collab with Kashmir.
Yeah,
And
that's what it was.
apparently it was fixed. And Spinning didn't know about anything. It was the manager of Kashmir that got the money behind the table, and then he would choose Lorenzo as the winner. So Spinning didn't know about it. Kashmir didn't know about it. They were also being scammed on the back, and the manager was making money. And I don't care if the manager is seeing this. Oh, okay, who's talking shit? This is the reality.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
that's
public.
yeah, no, that like yeah, exactly. Golden put it all out there. I think he took pictures of the contract and the transactions, and
Crazy guy, man.
and it's unfortunate because, like I said, you guys had a young, like, aside with all the drama, the music coming out of there was gas, bro. Like,
Yep,
you had
true.
some tunes. We were going through your Spotify last night. You had an early collab with Ollie James, and it was like, dude, I forgot about these tracks on Cell.
Same. I think it's called Starfall or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've talked about it to length on this show that there's drama behind the scenes, man, that a lot of just the casual fans do not know about. So it's kind of nice for you to inform some people about what can happen behind the scenes. It's not all rainbows and sunshines.
It's not. I mean, the idea was pretty cool. I think the first year of the label was very good. Music was very good. Like whenever you don't sign a track on Revealed or Maxximize at the time, because main stage was impossible at the time. It was just Maurice West, W&W. You had like the guy from the US, like Maestro Arrow, also, right?
What happened to that dude?
I think he went to be a rapper, become a rapper. That's what I heard.
He had some tunes, dude.
Yeah, he really did. He really did. But at the time, like Cell was like the appealing label to release on after the majors decline in music. You can get in Spinning. So they did a good work. And then I think he fucked it up because it was greedy and he was on a lot of drugs, bro. It was insane. Also, there's a story. I will go to it. I don't know if you're going to ask or not.
Well, KEVU, if you teased it, we got to hear it.
I mean, I also like
the realest man in music.
I also like to talk about shit because some people might not know the truth. And even if something hurts me and you ask me in public, I will tell the truth because things will eventually be known. Like I can lie to you, but then next year somebody will tell the truth and I will,
Karma
okay,
comes back around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's no point. So at the time, I don't know if you know this story. At the time, Lorenzo was lost on drugs. So when I tell you lost, he was lost. Like they moved to Amsterdam to like settle the label and like the business in there. And Amsterdam's like the drug city. So dude, that guy, he had a problem, man, like a real problem. And he comes from a very good family, hardworking family. Like he has everything a person needs to grow up like with the right education, but it's depending on the person, the mindset, the way they are. So I had a meeting with his father at the time, and his father wanted to invest in KEVU. So I don't know if you know the story because he leaked the contract.
Yes, I heard something about that. Yes. I wanted to ask you about this because you put it in the WhatsApp chat years ago. And I don't quite remember the story, but I remember there was like they had hired you for something.
That's a crazy story, bro. Like his father met me on Amsterdam during ADE, I think ADE 2018 or 17. And he told me, you're the only person that my son listens to. Can you please get him out of drugs? If you get him out of drugs, I will invest in KEVU. I will buy a share on your brand. So you can invest it like on DJ Mag, whatever you want to do. I told him, like, I don't need any money. I want him out of drugs just out of friendship. I have been trying, but I cannot be with him 24/7. But his father made a deal with me. I don't know if you know this, but it was crazy deal, bro. They gave me at the time, just so you know, at the time I would have like, let's say 5K. All my net worth was 5K. And they gave me 200K for 10% of KEVU.
Oh my God.
That was insane. At the time, that was the worst.
Hold on. Time out. We're not just gonna gloss over that. We're talking 175,000 euros.
Yeah, 175 to be precise.
That's a lot of money for a 10%. This, I feel like we're on Shark Tank. Do 175 grand for a 10% share of KEVU. That's a huge investment.
It was insane, bro. Insane. And at the time, I created my company. Let's say I go to the place, I create the company, I open the bank account, and 2 days after, almost 200K, boom, on the bank account. The bank called me. What the fuck? What the fuck is this? I'm like, yo, just let it enter.
Business.
Yeah, that was fucking insane.
KEVU's a businessman.
I mean, yeah, but at the time was a very bad deal for them. I will tell you that. Because they were buying today the price of 10 years from now, there was no way the brand was valued 2 million. Impossible. So it was a very good deal that I did, but I told them that I would do my best. I would work hard because every time I play a show, 10% of the money goes to them. This is something nobody knows. I mean, they know because the contract was leaked, but nobody remembers this. So every time I play a show, 10% of the profit I have to deliver to them. But how many years is it going to take me to give them 100 and I have to make 2 millions in order for them to break even? It's crazy, bro.
That's about 5 trillion streams. That's actually probably not even. You probably need like 500 trillion streams to make something like that.
Yeah, it's insane.
But you were a duo then, and I totally glossed over this early on. You were a duo with Johnny, right? John, he was a part of this. And at that time, were you KEVU? No, you were KEVU. You weren't Carfax and
Voltaire.
Wait, what was the original name?
Carfax and Voltaire.
That's right. KEVU, by the way, much better name. You guys did a good job. Yeah. How did you get KEVU? Wasn't it Blasterjaxx involved with that?
Yeah. Basically, it was on Amsterdam on Tom's house. He just said, "Yeah, let's pick up K from K Graphics and VU from Voltaire to KEVU." Okay, let's do it. That was it. Man. That was a fucking nice idea from him.
Oh, Tom, nice job. Okay, so you were a duo back. So is Johnny still involved with the group, or with the KEVU name and brand, or did you guys
completely out since 2019? Completely.
Okay.
Out. I wish him no bad. We just moved different directions. I can tell you the story. Basically, it was not working. I mean, when we started, it was a major key because he was way better producing than I was. So I learned. I spent all my days with him. I learned so much. But get to a point where we were, maybe it was a bit more musical because he can play the guitar, the piano, etc. But I was working way more than him. So you can be very talented, but if you don't work hard, hard work beats talent every day.
Yeah,
there's no way around it. So at the time, it was not working, and like 6 months ago, and I was making music by myself. He has nothing. Oh, I'm doing school. I'm depressed. I don't want to produce. I don't want to do this, do that. So I gave him like almost 2 years. Also, the management gave him 2 years. We gave them many chances. Like, let's say you have to do at least 3 tracks every month. And then a month will pass by and there's alpha track. So he just told me, bro, I cannot do this. I want to go to school, do other things. I'm not good in my head. I think he was like with depression and shit. So we just signed an agreement. He went out. I got the fully rights for the brands. And that was it. And today we still do some business outside music. Let's say some like Instagram stuff. Like he talks to me, I talk to him. Everything is good. Like he's making his own shit.
Hey, sometimes duos don't work out, man.
Yeah, I've been there. You can still be friends. And then
of course.
You take the business side out of it, and the friendship is still there. So, no, I'm glad to hear. You and Johnny are still cool, man. Because I know he was a talented young guy. I don't know him personally, but yeah, he was talented early.
He
but
really
you
was.
you picked up a lot of the production stuff, and you paired it with the hard work, and then boom. You
maybe it took me a bit more time to get the tracks done, but end of the day, when you listen to a track, it doesn't matter if the track was done in 1 hour or 10 hours. It's a track, so people don't care about how much time it took for the track to be done. So at the time it was a bit hard because I was doing shows, then I had to make all the production, all the marketing, all like the business ideas. So it was not that easy, but it also made me like a better producer, a better musician, a better like business guy. Because I was doing it all myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
Ty,
want to point. Sorry to interrupt you.
oh yeah, no, go ahead.
I want to point because I always like to give credit to deserves it. He was a major person. There was no way I would be here without him. No way. So I value that and I appreciate that every day. And I hope he's doing good because he deserves it.
I know, Ty, you had a question about like Kevin getting with Rave Culture and how that whole thing went down.
Yeah, let's switch it up a little bit and all that. We know that you are one of W&W's biggest artists on there, on Rave Culture and all that.
Yeah.
How did you get involved with the guys and get to where you're at with them right now?
So basically, they were playing some of my tracks over the years, some on live shows, some on my podcast, but they were working for Maurice with Maurice, and that was the guy that they were working with. And I think they did like a Sabres and Maurice track, the Rhythm of the Night. So that was also
That was
Sabres
huge.
were there. Yeah, that was huge. I think that was still main stage though, not Rave
Yeah,
Culture.
that was main stage.
So when they did the trend, I had 2 tracks signed with main stage, which was Soldier that ended up on Revealed, and also a track called Satisfy. It's an art style track that eventually come out with also Jimmy Clash, yes. So those tracks were signed on the main stage music, and the months were going by, and I had no replies from them, but they were signed. Eventually, they told me they're gonna change the label and they don't want the tracks anymore. So we sent Revealed. Soldier became like a big track on Revealed. Like Ardo was finishing the sets with it everywhere. Like it was crazy. Also good stream numbers. And then I did Night of the Opera with Martin Vauer.
Oh, dude, that's woo! That's one of my that's right there. That's the top of the list for me. That song,
Yeah,
is gas.
that's a goal. And that's a goal. Like I met him on ADE. I saw him on the street. I saw, yo, it's Martin Vauer. What the fuck? This guy has like so many tracks under his name that nobody knows. And I talked to him. I told him I'm going to send you some ideas. Let's do something together. And we did it. It's a very good track. It worked so well live. It's a good track. And I went to play a show in Taiwan. And W&W were playing the club next door as New Year, not as W&W. And at the time, I got the number of Billy, which is the tour manager from W&W. And he set me up to meet the boys. Basically, I finished my show. He picked me up, get me the boys. And the second time I meet them, because I met them like years ago before, like on AD, on the street, I asked them for a picture.
I remember this photo. That photo, by the way, is fucking infamous. That was my background on Zoom for like the whole pandemic. I think
that's great. I know. Yeah, that's like 2015. So it's crazy that 4 years after I met them at the show, and they told me like we like Night of the Opera, we would sign it on Rave Culture because now we're changing to Rave Culture, but now it's gone. Go home, make some tracks that are on that style, see what we are releasing, and we want to give you a chance. And that was it. And I come back. I had Mystery done.
Oh, that's infamous.
Which come out, but took like 1 year to come out. That was the first one that I actually signed on Rave Culture.
That's right.
So that was signed. Then I did Colors. They preferred Colors over Mystery, so let's do Colors first. And then I went to India. This was just before COVID. I went to India, but COVID was already going on China. So I was at the hotel, and I was thinking, let me make a track about like rave being our cure, or like.
That's my favorite song.
Yeah, that's a very good song, man. And like the lyrics were so like truth on that time that we were, and the guys just loved it. I made it on the hotel, record my voice. Then eventually I had someone from Fiverr doing a voiceover. They preferred that version. Yeah, it's a guy from Australia. Yeah, it's crazy. You know what's crazy? The guy that did the voice. This is fucking. The world is so small. The guy that did the voices for Rave is Our Cure. Basically, I hired him on Fiverr. He has no fucking clue who the fuck I am. So he makes the vocals. Sends to me. I said, okay, thank you. I don't say I'm KEVU. I don't say for what it is. They just record it. Then there's a festival in Australia called Transmission.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know
Right.
it.
Yep.
And knew you were playing there. The guy was attending the festival, and he starts to hearing his voice like, and he was like,
"Oh,
what
that's
the
my voice!
Crazy! That's crazy." Then he texted me, "Dude, what the fuck? How is my voice on this fucking festival?" I told him, "Yes, man, that's my track." It was so funny. Like the guy was just there, like Tell me,
I was
bro.
gonna say,
Ask
can
me.
I say something? We've talked about Fiverr on the show before. I've used it personally for like I have a track signed with a guy off of Fiverr as well too, and we use it for some other stuff. But you can also get some not so good stuff on Fiverr. But
I used to make KEVU. So I used to make fun of Ty for going on Fiverr because my first experience was like it was a
it was
drawing my
terrible.
son could
It
have
was
done
terrible.
for artwork for the show. But no, yeah, but you're right. You can find some really good
It's
services
good
on
for
Fiverr.
freelance and all that.
There's there's a lot of scams going there for sure. There's a lot of guys that do a horrible job or don't deliver or whatever. But my experience were always good. I found that guy perfect. But what I do is I always try to get them to give me the WhatsApp. So I just move from Fiverr to WhatsApp. Then I just PayPal them. We can work over WhatsApp. I don't have to go to the site. It's like WhatsApp is like more. You feel like more intimate with people. So I just find someone that I like. Once I see they are legit, I move them to WhatsApp. Then we start working on WhatsApp. Also, we did like the vocals for one of my, like the show that I did, the live stream on the football stadium. Like the intro for the track, like the big room, big room energy, whatever that I wrote. He did also the vocals for that. And I mean, for all the tracks that I want to do something like for intros, I always go to him. So Fiverr is a nice spot if you like. If you're lucky, also you get good people. So that's how Rave Culture come up to life. And yeah, that track just I don't know. Then tracks started to come one after the other, and then the thing that was easy for me was that the one that would just tell me, "Yo, bro, make a track with this, this, and this. So just do it." So I knew that I'm making something that they like, you know. It was easier than I just make some random tracks and send to them, and hopefully they're gonna like it. This way, we start talking on WhatsApp. It was a different approach. And one thing that I have to say is that they told me everything they told me, because in life and in business, a lot of people will tell you, "Bro, I'm gonna get you this, this, and this," and then it's just just they talk and they do shit.
Open promises.
Everything yeah, everything they told me they would do for me, they deliver, and I'm so grateful, so grateful. Like
They're good dudes, man.
they are both amazing persons.
Well, yeah, I mean, I remember that was a goal because I was there in the WhatsApp group when you shared it when you signed your first track, or the first track actually came. Was it Tic Tac that was the first track that came out?
No. Tik Tok was not label release. It was a free release. Colors was my first Rave Culture track, and I think they're like 25 now.
Yeah, dude. How did you? Okay, so you're like the go-to big room guy. You're like you're the guy for big. How does that make you feel?
You
Like
carry
before,
big
right? It
room.
was, yeah. Well, it was Martin Garrix and it was Hardwell and it was W&W and all these boys. Now in 20, as we sit here, 2022 going to 2023, you're literally in our industry, in the whole industry. You're the big room guy.
I
You're
mean,
the big room guy.
I think on the industry, to be completely honest, I think W&W are the biggest guys on big room, even though they don't do only big room.
They don't
I
make
know.
no KEVU.
Yeah,
They don't
yeah,
make that anymore. You're
yeah,
like the
yeah.
purist here,
No, but they just did like Rave Time with Jackson Vega. That's a big room track.
right?
Yeah.
So, but
that's true.
on the eyes of the industry, like let's say you are a promoter or club or festival owner, they are the biggest guys because Hardwell retired. They took the Empire. They did it well. Of course, they go a bit up. They go up tempo. They go to happy hardcore. They do some art soundtracks also, some different stuff like some progressive house. But as the industry sees it, because if you go see their sets, they play a lot of big room. Like even the remixes, like the old remixes they did, they still play it. So I don't want to take credit where I don't have it. I know that behind those guys, behind bass checkers, Blasterjaxx still play a lot of big room. From the new generation, yes. Right now, yes. I always carry it. I always stick with it. Of course, we have Savers, ANG, Axmo, a bit more up tempo. But maybe I was the guy that hold on to it the most. That's
Right.
true, and that's
You've
true.
never wavered. You've never wavered. We look I'm an up tempo guy, right? We like big room, but you're like the guy who still produces organic big room. If that's a thing, like the organic 128, that's where you live and you didn't change. What do you think of the state of big room is now? Like, where is it at for you as you see as industry? Because a lot of your contemporaries have gone to big room techno, right? You've seen it. Obviously, Hardwell's driving the bus. But where do you like? where do you see Big Room, the organic Big Room as it stands now?
I mean, there's one thing what I think and what I believe the industry thinks. What I think is I still like it. You know, I still like it the same as I like it from the first day. When I'm playing a show, I also make some other stuff. I have other tracks coming out. But when I play a big room track, I feel the energy is different from playing a harder track. You know, because even the way you jump, it's not as easy to jump as 150 BPMs as 128. So, and a lot of people don't know how to jump when the track is up tempo. So, from the reactions that I see on the crowd when I'm playing, big room is by far the best genre. Like by far, if you go to Tomorrowland, compare like a drop, like a techno big room drop with like a really like a mammoth kind of drop. You see the reactions are there is no comparison. So I still like it. What I do think the industry is doing right now, of course, if you do the same thing over and over again, it's going to get overused, it's going to get boring. I do understand that, and that's what I think. What's happening with the industry, but I also think that if you call big room generic or whatever, which sometimes it is that's on the truth. But there's so many like big room techno remixes where they just add like a techno. Oh, hi guy, hello.
Well, I say this because, okay, I wanted to bring this up because I have the biggest big room fan that I know. Oh, the guy's an absolute, and he's the biggest KEVU fan.
Okay,
and I told
him
I told him I was interviewing you today, and he wanted to ask you a couple questions and talk to you a little bit. So I'm going to turn it over to Tristan here. Tristan, here's Uncle KEVU.
He's a smart kid.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Okay, you have a question for Uncle KEVU?
Yes.
Okay, ask away.
What's your most popular song?
My most popular song, I would say it's Unchained with Blasterjaxx. That's the one of the biggest streams. But I think when I play a track live, let's say I play for a Rave Culture crowd or big room crowd, Rave is Cure is the one that I feel like everyone knows the lyrics, everyone knows the melody. So that's that would say my biggest track is Rave is Cure. It's my favorite one too.
Nice. Do you have another question? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Easy.
Don't be
You
shy.
might as well ask away.
How old is he? How old are you?
7.
7. Okay.
What's your favorite song?
My favorite song. My favorite song from other Dara artists, I would say it's Snake from Blasterjaxx. That's a track that really got me. I don't know if you heard it, but if you're not, your father should show you. It's an old track.
It's a good one though.
Yeah, it's a track that I really got inspired when I started making. The favorite track nowadays, I have to go with Freed from Desire. I just love to play it. My version, I just love to play it. So it's a very good track to play live, and that's my favorite track right now.
And it's dropping this Friday as this
Yeah,
recording.
it's dropping Friday. That's crazy.
What is your favorite KEVU tracks? Tristan. What is your favorite KEVU tracks? You hear them all the time. What do you like the most?
Afterlife.
Afterlife. Okay, nice. Good choice. Good choice. You're a smart kid.
So when we go to Portugal, can we stay at your house?
Yes, you can, of course.
Have you seen the size of this guy's pool? It's like he's got a mansion in Portugal. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, you can come whenever you want.
Okay, we'll tell Uncle KEVU bye. We'll talk to him later.
Bye.
Bye-bye, and you are welcome whenever you want.
I hear it all the time from Rob that Rob hears KEVU music all the time.
Oh, dude.
What a smart kid, man.
If you see like 112 streams on a Friday night from Temecula, California, that's this dude right here. It's funny though, because we're talking about big room and big room techno. Anytime, and it's no slight to like Will Sparks or some of those guys that are making like the big room techno, it doesn't hit the same. He doesn't have like that same reaction. And I remember telling my friends like Ty and these guys like at his birthday party, it's all KEVU and Blasterjaxx big room, and it still works. Yeah, it still works. A 7-year-old birthday party, you're out here playing KEVU. But you're right. When you're at concerts and when you're playing festivals, it doesn't hit the same. Those empty drops with the techno kicks does not hit like the big room does.
I think it's about the kick. The big room kick just basically makes the work for itself, in terms of energy. So it's so fucking full, it has everything. So I do understand, and I want to buy your son something. I'm gonna give him something special. I'm gonna send you something special.
Oh,
Let me
he'll
think
love
about
that.
it. But I was
Okay.
really touched by his speech, and he's 7 years old. It's crazy. I'm gonna send him something, but give me some time. I will do it still this year.
That whole thing, I'm sure he's going to super appreciate that. But it shows you, Ty, Big Room never dies. We got a whole new generation.
Where are you based now? Where are you based now?
I'm in like San Diego, California, or just north of San Diego in California, Southern
That's
California
that,
area.
that's far away.
Oh yeah, we're on the other side of the globe of you.
Yeah,
But no,
true.
I think Big Room's it's gonna have a bounce back. It'll look a little different, of course. But like, what do you think? What do you think, Kevin? Like, are we getting the Big Room guys coming back in a couple years, or is it gonna have to evolve? Like, what's your take on that?
What I've heard from people that know is that it's gonna come back next year strong. That's what I heard. That a lot of festival guys, the thing about Big Room is like when you let's say you're making a festival, you want your after movie of the festival to be very appealing, you know. And when there's Big Room music, the reactions of the crowd are just better for like even like you know like the video guys that record me that I know, they always tell me, bro, Big Room is the easiest for us to record because it's the best reactions so far. So they always record mostly of my Big Room set, and then when I move up tempo, they don't record as much. Also because let's
Really?
say, yeah, also because let's say I release a track that is 130 BPMs, and they are filming a part of my set that was 150. Like the jumping will not match the track because the BPMs are different on what is being released and what was playing at the time at the recording. So they prefer Big Room. Like everyone prefers Big Room in terms of getting like the emotions of the crowd. So I've heard that it's gonna come back. I see that a lot of people are still playing it. Even like the huge guys like Armin van Buuren, he plays some Big Room here and there. Also Guetta plays a little bit. So we'll see. Garrix is playing like his Big Room hits. Same for Afrojack. So let's see. I would like to see Hardwell play more Big Room though, but
I think everyone's going left or everyone's going right with this big. We talked about it on the show, Ty. People are going right. They're following the trends. They're chasing it. I get it. I get it. I do. But man, I think the guys that go left and stick with Big Room or start now, like young 18-year-old producers,
yeah,
start with Big Room. I
yeah,
honest to God believe it because I think in a couple years when that pendulum swings back,
yeah.
dude, I just think it's going to be an in thing because you can't. Okay, one thing we all can agree on. I don't care if you're like a techno guy or whatever, Big Room guy. Like you said, those videos of like Dimitri Vegas and Like Mike at Tomorrowland 2016, 17, those exist. Like you cannot duplicate that. And I like up tempo, right? I'm an Ollie James guy. I love all
Same
that
me.
shit.
Same. I also like it, but it's true.
You can, but nobody has ever reacted like that to any other track but Big Room. And that's like that. That's the genre.
There's one thing you have to have in consideration, which is Big Room is not the hot trend right now. But let's say in 2 years, it gets to be the trend. I'm here, you know. So I'm on the pole position to be booked on festivals for this kind of sound. Sometimes it's better to be one of the best guys on like an inch than to be like one of the many guys on like a super big sound that is popular because there's so many artists. So right now, as I told you, right now, if you want to book the biggest Big Room act in the world, you book W&W. That's what promoters do. So even if the tracks don't do like insane number of streams compared to like Tech House or something like that, the truth is festival needs Big Room. So I have a festival, I need a Big Room act, I go to W&W. If they are not available, I go to Blasterjaxx. If they are not available, maybe I go to KEVU. You know, that's how it works right now.
But do you care about streams? I mean, because that's the big thing, right? Big Room's not going to do as many streams as Tech House. That is like a
Yeah.
fact. Does that enter your mind when you're producing, like caring about streams and how this is going to be received by the public? Do you ever take that into consideration?
90% of what I do in studio, I think about the live reactions. So I want to play this track live. I want to have fun. I want people to have fun. So that's what I think. But I also have to think that the label people, they need to make money. They need to make streams. So there's like I have to find a balance between what I think works live and what I think works in terms of streamings. If you ask me if I care about streams, I have to say yes, I do care about streams. Because end of the day, there's a promoter in, let's say, Taiwan that wants to book me. He's going to look my Spotify. He doesn't know me. He's going to look my Spotify. He's going to look my YouTube. He's going to look where do I have plays, where the plays count. If it's the main thing for me, no. I just prefer to have a track that works really well live. And if it doesn't make as much as streams, that's fine. That's fine. But it's important, bro. You have to have like the full package. You have to be a good producer, a good DJ, a good businessman. I have something that it's very helpful for myself, which is I'm a Latino guy. So I'm very easygoing. I'm very easy to talk to. So that's very important for promoters. If you come from Germany or so I don't know, like Czech Republic, they are more cold people. So it's harder for them to engage on conversations. So I have that in my favor. I don't have to force it. That's the way I am. But the full package is important for a producer nowadays. But of course, there's something today that is very important and I don't do, which is TikTok. TikTok is it's growing, bro. Trust me. You saw with Maurice West. His track did well on TikTok. That's how it started, and it was one of the biggest tracks on dance music this last year. And you don't even want to know how much money he made with that track. It's crazy.
Man.
It's crazy. But I try to do TikTok. I don't like it. It's very hard for me to. For example, I make a good TikTok playing like a nice track for 10K people, and I have like 10% of the views that my girlfriend gets if she makes like a photo on the gym. So it's very demotivating to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, this is very important because I learned it just a few months ago. TikTok nowadays is very important because let's say a person only uses TikTok because there's a lot of kids and new generation, they don't use or they barely go on Instagram. They just go on TikTok. So if you are not on TikTok, for them, you do not exist. So there's very important information. Like you have to be there, or else you're gonna be lost.
If you can get a song to pop off on TikTok, dude, you are gold, man. Like that's I've said it before a few times on this show. TikTok for me is like a record label, and you're right. I have like this guilt every time I talk to somebody. I'm like, dude, I need to be doing TikTok. Like, it's so important to the fabric of how we, how, like I said, the new generation, how they're consuming music and content. It's going through TikTok, whether we like it or not. It's going through TikTok.
That's how it is. We have to stick with the rules, bro, or else we're fucked. Because we can do our own thing, and I always try to do my own thing. But there's things you cannot skip, and the reality is, my daughter is 5 years old. She doesn't use Instagram. She uses TikTok. So if I have no TikTok, I don't exist for people like her. So if I don't exist, I have less streams on Spotify. I have less people on my concerts. I have less hype around me. There's a lot of DJs in Portugal. They play because they have TikToks. So when they go to like a party, on the flyer it says TikTok sensation, something like that. It's crazy. They're making money because of TikTok, because they are big there. But I don't have. I'm 33 years old, bro. I'm not that young anymore. I don't have the patience. First of all, I don't like to scroll on TikTok. My girlfriend spends 2 hours scrolling on TikTok. I don't like it. I like some football video. Like my TikTok is just football, like football tricks, stuff like that. So, but after like 10 minutes, I am done. I go to make music, play PlayStation, whatever. I don't have the patience to be there anymore. But some things we have to do, and that's one of the things that I need to. Even like I went to Czech Republic for a show, and I thought in ideas like, let's do this video for TikTok, let's do this combination. And Steve W was doing the same with his girlfriend. So we were both like, I just talked to him and said, bro, what the fuck are we doing, man? We're not TikTokers. We are DJs, man. But it's very important. Nowadays, it's very important, bro.
It's the way the game is played.
Yeah. For people listening, if you don't have a TikTok, go create one. Go see what's trending. I even did shit in my cars. If you see my TikTok, I went to Need for Speed. I made like my car on Need for Speed, and then I did like playing Need for Speed in real life. So the image it shifts from the Need for Speed game to my cars, and that's a fucking sick video. And my girlfriend boobs has like 200K views, so I gave up.
The algorithm's
I gave
cracked.
up, but yeah, but I have to try again. It's very important.
We've blown through this first hour. Kev, I could talk to you probably for like 3 days in a row. Like,
Yeah,
this is awesome. And I have so much to get to. So hopefully you got enough time to hang out with us.
Yeah, I do.
Because I did want to talk about like fan questions. We've gotten a few, but this is a question for me. I kind of want you to go into. You're probably the best storyteller of any like EDM guy I've ever met, right? Because you did that on your Patreon. That was okay. Wait, let me rewind. Do you still do that like on your Patreon? Do you still have a Patreon?
I don't. I still have a Patreon, but this is something that I have to be very open and honest about. When I started Patreon, I had around 130 Patreons, something like that. Now I have like 40. I have not gave my full energy to it because I cannot be everywhere, bro. I cannot. I cannot make Patreon as good as I wanted because I also have a daughter. I also have a family. I also have other things that I'm doing, or other businesses besides music. I cannot do Patreon. What I do is I give good projects. That I still give good projects. I give exclusive shit like remixes. I still do tutorial videos, like building the track from 0 to 100. I still do that. But those videos are very nice. Those videos are very nice.
I remember I was there when you first launched it. You were asking for some ideas and tiers and how that would work. And you had some of the funniest fucking stories.
Yeah, I do have a lot of stories, bro.
You like hanging out with Vendark and some of those stories. But and for guys that don't know, Vendark's a really I don't know what he's doing now, but I remember like 2020, 21. He's a talented guy. Like he's like a hard style, like up tempo guy, right? Or he was making that music. I don't know if he's still making music or not, but that guy.
Yeah, he still is. I mean, he's involved in like car businesses. So basically,
okay.
He has like he's like probably the main represent of like the BMW tuning cars in Portugal. So that's a lot of time that it takes, but he still makes music. A lot of time when I'm on tour, I create an idea and I wanted like better mix. I still send to him and he gives some mixing touches, some mastering touches. He adds some shit in there, so he helps me from time to time still. But I think he's more focused on the car things. But he's one of my best friends. So let's say today is okay. In 2 days I have a show, big show. I will take him. On stage to play some tracks because we always had fun with that. So he's still doing it, but I think the car thing is giving. He tried to be a DJ. He tried to do a lot of things, but it just didn't work out for him.
It's hard. Like the money is hard, especially if you're making good money in your other profession. It's hard to like turn that down and start DJing and playing shows and stuff like that.
Whenever I'm touring, he helps me a lot. When he comes to my house, he also helps me with ideas. The same as I do for other producers when I meet them. There's a lot of guys. I don't want to say names because then they can create problems. But there's a lot of guys that send me like, yo, bro, can you help me with this drop or can you help with this break? I'm stuck. And I just do it. And if I need something, I also ask them. But yeah, he's mostly doing car things right now. But these stories were insane. Now he's also dating for like a year and something now. So I kind of lost my go-to guy for many things.
Yeah, you lost your wingman, man.
Yeah.
Come on, Vendark.
Yeah,
dude, I remember you. I remember when you were driving him around to dates, bro. We were on a Zoom call with some other friends in that WhatsApp group of yours. We're hanging out, and you're like, "Yeah, I'll stop by." You hop on the Zoom call with us, and Vendark's in the passenger seat, and I'm like, well, "Where are you guys heading?" He's like, and you were like, "I'm taking this guy to a date right now. I gotta go."
Probably. Yeah, we did a lot of shit, man. It was. I mean, we were together, like living together for like 2 or 3 years.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So now I moved out to like a condom, apartment, because I had like that house that you talk about. That house,
dude.
was crazy.
What happened to the big house? What happened to the mansion?
I could not be there anymore. It's impossible, bro. I would wake up and see people that I've never met in my life sleeping on the floor. It was crazy.
Those parties were like I vicariously lived through you and those party videos. That was like, it was like watching Project X every Friday, Saturday night.
Yeah.
And Kevin you would have a get together and it would be like the fucking Hangover the next morning. And you would get on WhatsApp and you'd kind of like pan around the room. And I was like, dude, I need to go to one of those parties in Portugal, man.
I want to say there was no drugs whatsoever involved. It was just Because a lot of people think like DJs, oh, they do drugs. You know, I don't even drink. It's very rare.
Yeah,
I don't drink.
that's a fun fact. That's a fun fact about KEVU. You don't drink, you don't do drugs, and like it's funny because I've seen parties at your house. Yeah. I've seen parties at your house, and you're in your studio working, and you got your other boy. He's out there and he's hosting a party, and you're working in the studio. I've seen that. I can vouch for this.
It was crazy, man. At the time with COVID, like that house was like the place to be.
Yeah.
You know, even though it was not allowed to be so many people in there, like the security, they didn't give a fuck. They would just let people in. So at that time, we would go out for like this, like a rooftop bar. It was a really nice bar, and I would spend so much money. And when I get home, I had like 2 or 3 cars of people I have never met that my friends invited. This friend, so it was crazy. I mean, I had the time of my life. I enjoyed it, but I could not take it anymore because I could not have my daughter in my house. It was impossible. I could not watch a movie with my girlfriend. It was impossible. There was always people in the house. So at the time, I said, "Yeah, let's move out and let's go to an apartment for now, and let's be more productive." Because I would still make music. I would still work every day. But sometimes you want to be chill in your own home. You want to play some games. It's impossible, bro. Impossible. And the thing is, I'm too nice to people, so I cannot say no many times. So somebody would call me, "Yo, bro, I'm gonna pass by for dinner." Yeah, sure. Someone else knew he was coming. He also called me. And then I invited one person. 10 people would appear. So it was fucking insane. But it was the time of my life. I will tell you.
It was a time of my life. I was across the ocean. That was a good time,
That's
man.
funny.
Because everything was closed. So we were all like producing and in our producer groups. This is like you said during quarantine. And dude, KEVU's house was going off. You would show videos. I remember getting up in the morning because you're ahead of me. And I would look at the videos. I'm like, damn, that guy's living the good life. You still have the car though, right?
I have the car and I have both cars. Yes, I have both cars.
Okay, good.
At that time, during COVID, if I had started vlogging those shit, that would be fucking massive.
Oh, dude.
That would be massive. That was a dumb move.
Make that a TV series.
Dude, that house was so popular that fucking W&W moved to Portugal for that.
That's true. That's a good story.
See, that's true.
That house was insane, like insane. But it was also a family house, so we would have like dinners together. Someone will cook. I would have like one of my friends that has no place to stay. He just volunteered to be like the house keeper. So you would do everything. You would cook, you would clean, you would put every people in order because sometimes we had police in there because it was too loud, too much shit going on. Then the police know me, so they would go there and I would just say, "Yo, do me a favor, just take them and arrest them because I just want to sleep."
You're like, "Hey, get him out of here, Kai." Yeah, I love it. Okay, Ty.
So now we got some fan questions that we want to ask you. Some from our Instagram, some from our Discord, which if you guys haven't joined yet, the link is in the description and come and hang out with us in the community. But the first one is, how did you decide if a track will take a classic big room, trancey, or harder approach? How do you decide that?
It kind of depends. Like at the time when I started working with W&W, William always tells me, make one big room track, one trancey track, one big room track, one trancey track. So I would just go from one to another. But also depends when I feel that day. Let's say I watched the movie and some melody from like a old track comes up, and I think that works for a trancey track. So I'll try to recreate it and work around it. It depends in the mood that I'm at that time, but also depends in what I've released before. So let's say I have like 2 big room tracks signed. I'm gonna force myself to make trancey stuff. So it's not always the same. So that's what I did with, if you see my Rave Culture tracks like from 1 year ago, 2 years ago, you would see that in between tracks, there's always trancey stuff, there's always like different stuff. So it was kind of with the mood that I was, inspiration-wise, but also with the variety of tracks that I had to do. So I'm not always the big room guy.
Okay. What was your favorite moment while playing ADE Rave Culture?
Oh, dude, my fucking favorite. I put this video on Instagram. You saw it, the Thunder. Did you saw the Thunder thing?
Yeah.
Dude, it was so fun. You didn't saw it, bro. I'm sure you didn't saw it.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I will send you after. Dude, my favorite part, okay, the fans were incredible, like family. I know it's very good to see that I know fans from Germany, I know personally because they've been to my shows there, from Czechoslovakia, from whatever places. So I saw guys from the US that I've never seen before. So the fan wise, it was very good. So I'm the type of guy that I don't like fame. My girlfriend knows this very well. I don't like people to ask me for pictures. Not because I don't want to take them, because I just don't feel that I don't understand still why they want a picture with me. So I get very awkward. But there was very natural. People were so nice. So that was amazing. The shows were amazing because I played for the second stage and then the first stage. But my favorite moment, Sandro was so first we played the second stage first. So after that, in the back-to-back set that I did with Axmo and Sandro, there were like 4 hours in between. And those guys, they were drinking and drinking and drinking. So they come to me and say, yo, bro, you have to play because you're all drunk. You cannot do anything. So you have to do it yourself. And I said, okay, that's fine. Just please don't do anything shit. Then the bender started to disappear. But Sandro was so drunk. We were playing. I will send you the video because it's so funny. We were playing and I look and there's no Sandro. I was like, what the fuck is Sandro? And he's just standing there with the lights guy, with the crew like this. And I'm like, this dude left his own set. Like he's just there. So I called him and I said, bro, what the fuck are you doing, man? We're playing a show. What's up? Are you good? And he was just laughing and kissing me. And if you see that video, I will send you after. The video is so funny because everyone is on the stage. And Sandro left the stage. He didn't realize that he's off the stage. So everyone's on stage and Sandro is on the side, just like chilling. I was laughing so hard.
He's like so a fan. I can picture that too. I can picture Sandro having a good time.
We also have a group on WhatsApp. It's called Sandro MVP. I want to see you all hearts in the air. Hearts up, hearts up. Hearts up, hearts up. So yeah, that was my favorite. My favorite moment was there. It was so funny to see Sandro was out of this world. I made this group hello guys, I'm bored at my hotel, waiting 4 days for a 1 hour show, and I wanted to share something with everyone. Then I asked, the question is, what the fuck is Sandro doing in this video? Why is he outside the booth? And I'm the only one who can't stop laughing about it. And then he said something like that. What Sandro said. He said something like, yo guys, I was way too drunk. That's what happened. But you have the video there. It's very funny. But my favorite moment for sure.
Rob, you got any questions?
Yeah, I got a fan question. And the fan question's for me. Okay, you have a track. You have an unfinished ID with Steve W. I think it's everybody's. You know what I'm talking about, Warrior.
Yes.
Will that ever get finished? That you put that guitar in there. That's how I got hooked on KEVU. FYI, my favorite KEVU song is a fucking track that's not even released and it may never see the light of day. I asked Steve W this. He's like, yeah, I don't think it's happening. I'm gonna ask you, is it happening? Could it happen?
I don't think it will, because at the time I think I ended up using that drop for Raverdome. You know Raverdome?
Oh yeah.
There was a new version with me, Sandro, and Justin Prime. So I used that drop for that. But maybe you can give it away because the track is really good.
It's that's a really good track.
Maybe not a release, but I would just put it on Instagram, like you just click it and then you get the Dropbox, and I can send you for sure. But that's a good track.
Yeah, people would have fun with that. And I think I got another one on my Instagram was, what's your best fan experience? Like you with a fan, I know you consider yourself an underground guy, which that's a whole nother subject. Even though that you've kind of made it as a mainstream artist, you still have that underground mentality. So I know this for you might be a little awkward, but They asked, what is your best fan experience and why?
Um, I think the best fan experiences that I had was on Czech Republic. One of them, my girlfriend actually went with me the last time. Is where we play Retro Hall, which is like a club there, and the fans make like a dinner, and they take the artists. They took me, they took Axmo, Steve W. I think also Medics went with them. So they take you for dinner and drinks, and you enter on like a restaurant, and you see like 50 people with Rave Culture merch, uh, and they're just with flags, and you feel super awkward because I'm so shy when I'm at the beginning. I'm so shy, but that's the best experience because I go to the show and I see all these people there with Rave Culture merch. They know all the songs, so that's my favorite experience. Also with like ADE because everyone there was a Rave Culture fan. Of course there was like of course some ad hunters, people that just went for ad hunters, but the biggest percentage was there for Rave Culture. And those are the best experiences, bro. That, and when people like text me something like, your music helped me through tough times or through COVID or through this or through that. And on those days, I wish I had a podcast before. I'm gonna start it because there's so much shit that I want to share, so much stuff that I get asked that I want to reply on, and to get people more motivated. Because when I travel on a plane, I also listen to podcasts, and those podcasts give me like motivation and entertain me, and I also want to do that. So I think the best thing as an artist is when somebody tells you, "Yo, I was on depression. Your music helped me get out of it." Was not just your music, but was one of the things that helped me. And I mean, what more can we ask, right? So that's my favorite things.
Nice. Yeah,
Exactly.
it shows how powerful, like I said, the stuff that we're doing out here. It's so powerful,
It really is.
to the everyday listener and things like that. And it's just how you affect people, especially through music, man. Like it's the one language the entire world can understand is music.
And sometimes we have no idea about it. Sometimes, like when you see a stream, it's just a number, but there's a person behind that number. And for some people, you just listen to the track and okay, it's a nice track for the day. Let's move to the next one. And for other people, some tracks are just helpful because on that day they had a bad day, and that track helped them throughout the day. They change like his mind for like 4 minutes. Um, to get off and get a restart of the day on a better note. So I think the best thing about it is we have no idea how much influence we have over people. Even if it's one person in the world, that matters. To me, matters a lot.
Let me ask you this. My son asked you what your favorite song is. I'm gonna piggyback onto that. Have you had a production that's moved you, like something that you have created, a track, your favorite production where it's moved you? You're like, look, man, yeah, everyone's gonna hear it, but it affects you in an emotional way.
Yes, I would say City of Brass. I don't think you know the track. It's from 2015. That track was the for me, was the first time Blasterjaxx played my music, and I'm a huge Blasterjaxx fan, like a huge fan. I'm still a fan today. Um, Thankfully, nowadays I can make some tracks with them. I'm good friends with Tom and Idir. We had a lot of good times in ADE. We talk a lot. Um, but I'm still a fan. So when they played my track the first time, I was in shock. I was crying, like crying so much because I know that I put so much effort on that track, so much effort. And the crazy thing about it was like back in the day, this was 2015. So basically, somebody told me, "Yo, they just played your track," and that's the message that I've been waiting for like 2 years. Like, they played my track because I would send so much, and I'm listening to like they send like a live recording from a phone on a festival, and someone recorded like let's say 20 minutes of the set. So I'm listening and listening and listening. Like I download it, I cut it so I could post it. Like, oh, they play my track and shit. And while I was there, like just enjoying the moment. 2 tracks after that one, I hear another track. That's it. I know this shit. That's mine too. They played 2 tracks. Like how the fuck? So that was crazy. The first support that I got was those 2 tracks, and I'll send it to you guys after, so you can see the track. But that's the most emotional track because that was the first time that I see. Okay, it is possible to illegally download a fucking software, illegally download some plugins, make some music, and get played by your idol. And you have to remember, these were the big room golden years.
Yeah.
So what they played was only shit that was so filtered because there was so much big room at the time. So I'm not saying that if you start tomorrow and you make a big room track and they play it, it's still amazing. But at the time, you had a little bit special to it, Same like
Yeah,
Revealed. At the
the
time, Revealed
market's
was,
saturated.
yeah, now it's saturated, but at the time was so impossible to be on Revealed. And when you get on Revealed, like it was like special. Like today is not that special anymore. You understand? I don't know if you remember the days where they have like the guy from Mexico. I don't remember his name. Fuck, I don't remember. But they had like the Jags, for example. I don't know where they are now. Alpha Rock. They had like Julian Keller, guys like that. They were the guys on. Deoro. That's the guy that I was talking about. So they were the guys
Oh,
on
there.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once I got my first reveal track, that was so special also. But the thing about that track is the 90% of the idea was made by Johnny. So I don't feel as special to me as this one, because this one I did 100% myself. So that was the most special track that I have. Is City of Brass was the day that I understood this is possible. So yeah, I think you should hear it. It's a big room track, super bad mix, but if you hear the idea, it's really good.
Now, we've covered a lot so far in this podcast, and we'll definitely have you back as well too, because I know there's plenty of more stories.
Yeah, there's
But
so many.
what's some stuff you want to leave these younger, up and coming producers and DJs that might help them even more than what you said so far?
For me, the most important thing on the business is to be nice. Be nice to everyone. Don't let your ego grow because you have a track here, a track there, because nobody cares. End of the day, promoters will not care for you. They will book you if you sell tickets. If you don't sell tickets, they will not book you. So just be nice to everyone. Work hard. That's like a cliche, but it's the truth. Work hard. Try to establish connections because networking is very important on the music industry. Try to chase your own sound, not copying others 100%. So that's also very important. But something nobody says, I will say different. Be nice. Be like Steve W. Be like KEVU. Be like Sandro Silva, Axmo. Everyone that I've been every day, AG, everyone is nice. Sabers, everyone, Jackson Vega, everyone is nice. And I'm going to tell you something very special too. I was playing the Rave Culture party, and at that time I could see Axmo, Steve, Jackson Vega, everyone was enjoying my set. And when they were playing, I was enjoying their set. There's no envy whatsoever. So when I had the Freed from Desire confirmation, Andrew from Maximo, he texts me, bro, I'm so happy. You deserve this long time. We talked to William about it. You guys need to do a track together, bro. You're doing so much work for the community. And they were happy for me. They were not like, we have collabs W&W, now this guy also has it. Fuck him. Never. And the other way around, if they have tomorrow a track with 1 billion streams, I will be the first one to cheer for them. Because that's the way that I think you should be in life and in music. No envy whatsoever. Of course, let's say Maupi, for example. He changed. He had a fucking big track. Would I like to do the same? Would I like to have the same success? Yes. Am I upset because he got it? No, of course not. I'm sure he worked hard for that track. He worked hard for what he's doing. So that's the best advice I can give. Be nice. Don't envy anyone.
Well, you said it, and it stuck with me. You said it one time that rave culture is like a family, and you
Yes.
all just support each other. So
It really is, bro. Like it's not just talking, because it's good for the cameras. It's not just talking. It is a family. I can tell you that.
I know we're running a long time. Maybe we can chop this up and edit it. But my last question for you, Rosario, is what is next for KEVU? What is the next step? You've done you've got the W&W club. I know you wanted to do that. You've gotten on the rave culture. You've played. What is next for you? What is your next big thing that you're pursuing?
First, Freed from Desire is the most I've ever been excited for a release ever. Because first, you don't know the story. I will tell you. Even Guetta could not get the track license. To get this track license is a nightmare. I will not go into detail how we got it licensed, but I can tell you that it's an insane step for KEVU. First, it's not just a W&W collab by itself. That's very good because they do probably 100K streams a day on the track when it comes out every day. I saw it on Aximo stats. They showed me. So that just by itself, I will become the #1 artist, not DJ, artist in Portugal with the most Spotify streams. So then I can say something. Yo, there's no fucking one on the country with more streams than I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could say it. I will not say it, of course. I'm not like that. But that's the reality of things. You know, it's worth what it's worth. Oh, you have more streams, but this guy takes 50K for a show. That's okay. A singer or whatever. That's okay. But a guy that started on his bedroom will have the most listeners on Spotify in 10 million people. That's insane. So I will just tell you guys in here. Not bragging. I'm just telling facts. So that's why I'm excited for it.
And fuck Kira. Sorry, I had to get that in there. Okay, keep it moving. Keep it moving. We're not gonna elaborate on that. Okay, what's the second fact?
The second, that's a good fact too. The second fact is that this track, first was the track of the summer, was the most played in like stadiums, like football stadiums. Maybe not when baseball doesn't go there, but on Europe football stadiums, every time a team scores a goal, that's the track that it plays. Also, we have the World Cup in 2 weeks. That's why we release the track before the World Cup, because we know it's going to play in the World Cup. People will Shazam it, and our version will appear. They're going to listen to our version. So you're going to have millions of people Shazamming this shit. So I pushed it so fucking much so we can release it before. I did dude, I will tell this, and Ward will not be mad at me because he knows I love him. But I had to change so many times. Let's say there's like a millisecond of the track they want it different. Nobody will care. I change it because I believe their vision. I believe that they know what's best. So this track, I think, will do very good. First, because it's a cover from a famous track, so it's always easier to get streams. It's a W&W and Ben Nicky collab. Ben Nicky is also a fucking huge artist. Like, he sells out shows everywhere. It's crazy. I had no idea. From last month, I saw his tours. It's crazy. He's a very nice guy too. So this track, what's next for KEVU? This track, I think, will take me to another step. Hopefully, let's see. Because what I've been doing for the last years is I've been growing slowly with a lot of hard work. My house, I have a house that is very well built on the foundation. You know, it's not like I made the hit and I went from here to here, and now if I don't deliver, I will disappear. I have a foundation of work, but I think this will add like an extra roof to the house. Like I have to layer. Also, I have something very cool coming, which is insane also, which is we got the rights also for I Will Survive from Gloria Gaynor. You know, Gloria Gaynor.
There we go.
Yeah, here we go. That's Rob's era. Let's go to work.
Yeah, so that's fucking, that track is also so big, like world, it's so iconic. And we got the rights. It's crazy because Free From Desire comes this Friday, and next Friday comes I Will Survive. So it's 2 weeks on the. It's coming on the tomorrow. It's coming on the Tomorrowland album, which is good too. So I believe these two tracks will get me to the next step, because they are covers, yes, but they are super search on Spotify. They are super search on YouTube. So I'm not even thinking money-wise. But let's say Free From Desire, let's say it does 50 million streams in 2 years. Let's say 25 million a year, which is perfectly normal for W&W. I can say that I have a 15 million track. You know, that's another. My max now is 8 point something with Blasterjaxx. So I think those two tracks will be very, very important. Also, I have stuff that you're gonna like coming, which is like up tempo Bigroom. So it's like Bigroom but 150. It's really good.
Let's go to work, man, dude.
It's really good.
No,
I'm really
awesome. I'm really happy for you. Like, and I told Ty this even before. One of the reasons I wanted to book you is, and I say this very genuinely, is I'm not in this chair, I'm not in this position if it wasn't for KEVU. You I appreciate it. the indirect and direct impact that you've had, because I remember when I was starting out, it was 2019. I think you had, I just found you on Instagram, so I'm late to the KEVU train. I know you have like a whole huge, very, very big fan base prior to that, but it was like, I remember I just started music end of 2019. This must be like December 2019. And you had put something on Instagram, like if you want some samples, DM me and I'll send it to you for free. Right. And I was like, and I just started, so I'm like, sure, I samples are like, you can never have enough of that. And then you started this WhatsApp group, and then you hit me with a DM. Hey, we want to join the WhatsApp group. And then that changed everything. Like whom I met,
Yeah.
like my network, everything. None of that happens if it wasn't for you giving away something for free. And so I wanted you to know, like, I know we're wrapping it up here, but I really appreciate your, like, everything that you've done for not only the community, but like what you're going to continue to do. So yeah, man, I really appreciate you taking some time with us today.
I appreciate too. I think I was always try to help people with the shit that I was doing online. I think I did it. Nowadays, I'm not as online as I used to be. I always try to be like smart shit to put online so I can get attention also. But I see a lot of people that started. For example, Axmo. They were at my masterclass 2019 on ADE. They are 0 track signed. They went there and now they're fucking doing great. Not because of me, but I also had like a millisecond of percent to their success. So, and they tell me that all the time. And they fully deserve what they have. They're nice guys, super talented. But I see so many people that I gave stuff for free or I gave help and they're doing it, but the same with W&W and me, bro. Like, for example, Blasterjaxx, well, on ADE, took me on stage for Enchained. He didn't have to do that, but he did it and he helped me. It's another story. It's another, more people seeing me. W&W helps me so much. Like, we talked 1 hour and 40. I had 10 hours more to tell you that you will be like, what the fuck? Because there's so many behind the scenes on the house, like the guys, they are amazing for everyone.
And like I said, we'll definitely have you back on because I know you have plenty more stories to tell.
No, so much, bro.
And it was a pleasure having you on here. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you could go and follow KEVU at KEVU Music on Instagram. You could go and follow my co-host at Robert Geaux on Instagram, and you could go and follow myself at Young Ty on Instagram. We'll see you guys on another episode of Voices of the Underground. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Thank you for the invitation.